The Devils are making multiple moves that will have a profound impact on the rest of their 2024-2025 campaign, and at the head of it all is Captain Nico Hischier. He's been excellent this season. We'll break it all down for you here on Devils Digest. I'm your host, Ryan the Gosiker, here with you, as always, breaking down the latest and greatest Devils content. But first, before we get into the show, I really want you guys to take a chance, be one of our first subscribers here to the channel. So go ahead, hit that subscribe button, and we'll get right into the show. Now, the Devils, the truck and the train, whatever you want to call it, just never seems to stop, right? It's the Devils played on Monday. They get the big shootout win. Jesper, Bratt, Cotter, excellent in the shootout. Terrific. I was there with a whole group of people. It was super awesome to be a part of. And now the Devils don't play till Saturday when they face the Rangers. So it really gives you a chance to get into the weeds of this team and trying to get into the thick of things. And one of the things that we want to get into today is the news out of Devils practice the other day, which was that Seamus Casey has returned from the AHL. Now, I believe that Seamus Casey was in the AHL simply for a contract purpose, which was, as we see in baseball, it's manipulating service time and all this crap, because honestly, that's what it is. It's crap. The way they had the control they have over these guys and all of them, we can just, if we just hold them down here a little bit longer, you know what's going to happen? We'll get an extra year out of his contract. I get it. It's dumb. It shouldn't be in the sport. Unfortunately, it is, and it's in baseball, obviously. So we kind of have to deal with it. But Seamus Casey is back up here. You know why? Because the last defenseman on this roster, Nemec and Cholowski, are just not cutting it. They're just not cutting it. And if they were, Seamus would have played the rest of the year in the AHL, and we would have never heard from him until September. Now we're hearing about him back with the roster. Sheldon Keefe says he wants to get him in some game action here down the stretch. What are we trying to prove? Seriously, answer me. Riddle me that. Leave it in the comments section. What are the Devils trying to answer here? Are we trying to figure out if he can play in the postseason? Are we trying to figure out if he's just, they say he might just be better than Cholowski or Nemec? What are we doing? There's less than 10 games left in the regular season. There's less than 7, I think, actually, for New Jersey. So what in the world are we doing trying to figure this out now? You should have known whether he should be up here or not. And this is a lazy, to me, this is weird. This is not how it's supposed to be. Again, they should have never gotten Cholowski at the deadline. If you really wanted to see who would be better, Nemec or Casey, you should have not traded for Cholowski and gotten those two guys up there and let them split time. Instead, here we are. So I'm happy Seamus Casey is back. I'm not happy the reasons that he's back, or the reasons I believe he is back. And again, we're headed into the biggest stretch of the Devils season because it's time. The Devils need to clinch a playoff berth. They need to get into the postseason, and experimenting doesn't seem like it's the greatest idea in the world. I know Sheldon Keefe, even going back to his Toronto days, is this guy that loves, let's mix it up. Get this guy in here, this guy in here, this guy in here. Hey, Joe in section 12, you want to come down and play? Sure, come on. We'll get you on line 4. Haula, you're out for the night. This is the kind of stuff that Sheldon Keefe's known for doing, experimenting. This is not the time of year. You need to figure out what your lines are going to be when hopefully you show up in Carolina for game 1 of the postseason. That's what the Devils need to be worried about. They also need to be worried about, and not worried, but excited about, the fact that they might get Dougie Hamilton back for the postseason. And I would say, if you're asking me, I'm not a doctor and I'm not in the Devils facility, I'd say he is coming back for game 1. He wouldn't be on the ice otherwise, guys. If he was done for the year, he wouldn't be back skating with the team. It's very clear Dougie has a game 1 timetable. And so what are we doing experimenting now? Right? Think about it. When Dougie enters the lineup, you're already mixing and matching. So now you're still trying to figure out your last defenseman. I don't understand it. I really don't. I love Seamus Casey. I love the fact that he's up here. But man, the reasons the Devils are doing this and why this hasn't happened sooner, it is problematic. It is problematic to me. It is an issue, and it's something that the Devils need to clean up. And they need to be better in the future. I would love to say, anything else, but, Tom Fitzgerald, this has got to be handled a different way. What is the point in giving Casey these next couple games, maybe a game, because I know Keefe said he's trying to figure out where he's going to work him into. So what does that mean? Like, is he playing 3 games? Is he playing 4 games, 5 games, whatever? If when the Devils clinch, is he playing every game then at that point to see what he's got? I don't know. It just feels like the wrong time to be experimenting. Now, to get to some brighter news is Captain Nico Hischier. And he has been phenomenal for this team all year long. He has really developed into a NHL captain, a up in that upper echelon of captains in the league. Now, again, just taking a look at some of his stats from this year, 62 points, 33 goals. That's that's outstanding. It does have an outside chance at getting to 40, depending on how well he scores down here, down the stretch. Almost 30 assists there. You see the shots, the giveaways, takeaways, plus minus is plus 11. Okay, that's really good. And he's on the ice all the time. We talk about it all the time. He's on the ice to start penalty kills, to start power plays, to start 5-on-3s, to start overtimes, to start this, to start that. Nico Hischier is on the ice all the time, and it's great to see him excelling at such a high level. Now, I did find this tweet throughout the week that I found rather interesting, and credit to CJ here on the tweet, and that Nico Hischier has been worth 10 standing points above replacement via Evolving Hockey's expected GAR model. That's second in the NHL behind Leo Draisaitl up there in Edmonton. Without him, the Devils would be behind Montreal and tied with New York / Columbus, despite playing 2 more games, which would be worse, right? Because the Devils, you're basically at least 2 to 4 points behind at that point because the teams above you have played less games than you. So he says Nico Hischier has a claim as a Hart finalist. And again, I don't think he gets there because I don't think Nico Hischier necessarily gets the respect nationwide. I think he gets a lot of respect around here in Devils country. But I think nationally, I don't think he's that. You hear Nico Hischier and Leon Draisaitl, you got people keeling over in laughter. And whether that's right, wrong, or indifferent is a whole different video. But the Devils captain and center, he certainly does, especially how he's picked up his game since Jack Hughes has gone out, has truly been remarkable to me. And Nico Hischier has been the catalyst for this team. We saw he had the hat trick against Minnesota. Okay, so this guy has led from the front the entire way. All these injuries, right? He was hurt throughout the course of the season, everything. And he has just continued to, this reminds me, I'm a big baseball guy as well, and I'm a huge Met fan. And, one of the things that has made Met fans fall in love with Francisco Lindor has been how he stands up at the podium and no matter win, loss, 0 for 4, 5 for 5, 6 home runs in a game, no hits in a game, 1 RBI, 2 RBI, doesn't matter. He always stands at his locker and he always answers questions. And Nico Hischier does the same thing. No matter the game, no matter the solution, no matter the issue, I should say, it doesn't matter to captain. He has to stand up there and answer the questions, answer the tough questions, more importantly, okay? And he has to be the shield for his teammates and really his organization. And Nico Hischier has done that. So I would agree he deserves some Hart finalist votes. I don't think he will get them, unfortunately, but certainly, CJ, we appreciate the information there. And obviously, if you're a Devils fan, you know exactly how valuable Nico Hischier has been to this roster and will continue to be over the next, hopefully, decade or so, right? So Nico Hischier, a big part of it. And I know the Devils got the Ranger game coming up, so it's going to be a tense atmosphere. I hate to say it, I'm not going to be there for it. I had some previous engagements with a job that I have to take care of, an event I have to be at. So Devils fans, I will miss you on Saturday if you're going to the Prudential Center. But again, as you're listening, watching to this video, we look forward to bringing you the latest and greatest Devils content. So I appreciate each and every one of you for listening, for watching. However you may be consuming Devils Digest, we appreciate you, and we can't wait. We really hope you become one of our subscribers, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button. But also leave us a comment. We really want to hear from you. What do you think about this Devils roster? Where can they go? How valuable is Nico Hischier to you? And how crazy has this Seamus Casey situation been for you? But for me, I'm Ryan the Goose Gosiker here with you, and we'll catch you next time on Devil's Digest.